A father struggling to pay off his debts, a mother sacrificing meals for her children, a family trapped in endless payments. This is the dark reality of interest, a system that keeps the poor in chains while the rich grow wealthier. It's a system designed to control, enslave, and manipulate people. Let's know about hidden injustices behind interest, how the rich gets richer and poor gets poorer. Why does Allah declare war against those who deal with riba? By the end of this video, you will understand the hidden dangers of riba, how it traps individuals and entire nations in debt, why Islam strongly forbids it, and most importantly, the solution that leads to a just and fair economic system. What is interest? When you borrow money through a loan, you pay back the original amount plus an additional amount, which is the interest. Imagine a man named Yusuf. He dreams of buying a small home for his family, but he doesn't have enough money. So he takes a loan from the bank, thinking it will help him secure a better future. The bank offers him 20 lakh rupees, but with an annual interest of 12%. At first, everything seems fine, but as the years pass, the interest keeps adding up. What started as 20 lakh rupees turns into 40 lakh rupees. His monthly payments increase, but his income does not. He works longer hours, takes a second job, but it's never enough. The burden of interest is suffocating him. Soon, stress takes over. Family fights begin. His wife starts worrying about daily expenses. His children see their father broken, always worried about money. The loan, which was supposed to help them, has now become a trap. And this is the sad reality of millions of families around the world. The hidden injustices behind interest, the cycle of endless debt, the slave system. Did you know that banks and lenders don't actually want you to pay off your debt? The system is designed in a way where people stay in debt for life. A simple loan multiplies over time due to compound interest, making it nearly impossible for many to pay it off. Even governments are trapped in massive debt because they borrow from big financial institutions at interest. Real example, the US government alone has a $34+ trillion national debt, most of which is due to interest. Many African countries remain poor because they owe billions in interest to rich countries and banks. Question: why do we live in a world where some countries are drowning in debt while banks live in luxury? The rich get richer, the poor get poorer. Riba is a tool that keeps wealth in the hands of the elite while ordinary people struggle. Banks and corporations lend money to people at high interest, ensuring that the borrower always pays back more than they received. The wealthy invest using interest-based loans and grow richer, while the poor struggle to keep up. Real example: a poor man takes a 5 lakh rupee loan to start a small business, but after years of paying interest, he has already given 7 to 8 lakh rupees to the bank, and yet he still owes money. Meanwhile, a billionaire borrows 100 crore rupees from the bank at a low interest rate, invests it, and makes a 200 crore rupee profit. The same bank favors the rich but keeps squeezing the poor. Question: if banks can give loans to billionaires at 5% interest, why do they charge common people 12 to 18%? Inflation. The silent killer interest is one of the biggest reasons behind inflation. But what does inflation mean? Inflation is a general increase in prices. Interest-based banking forces money into circulation at an artificial rate, causing prices of goods and services to rise. What does it mean that banks circulate artificial money? Banks create money out of thin air through a process called Fractional Reserve Banking. This means banks do not actually have all the money they lend. They just create digital money in the system. How it works: you deposit 10,000 rupees in the bank. The bank keeps only 1,000 rupees in reserve and lends out 9,000 rupees to someone else. That person deposits 9,000 rupees in another bank, which again keeps only 900 rupees and lends out 8,100 rupees. This cycle repeats, multiplying money that doesn't actually exist. Problem: money is being created without any real value behind it. More money in circulation leads to higher inflation because there is too much currency chasing the same amount of goods. Since interest is charged on this artificial money, people are forced to pay back something that never really existed in the first place. This is why Islamic finance promotes real money backed by assets, like gold and silver, instead of this artificial system designed to enslave people in debt. The value of money decreases over time because of debt-based economies. In simple terms, you work hard, save money, but over time, your savings lose value while the bank earns more from interest. Real example. In 1990, 100 rupees could buy you a full grocery bag. In 2025, 100 rupees can barely buy you a few basic items. Why? Because inflation is destroying purchasing power. Question: who really benefits when everything gets more expensive? Answer: the banks, the lenders, and the financial elite. The psychological and social destruction of Riba. Interest doesn't just destroy wealth, it destroys peace of mind, family life, and society itself. People working 2 or 3 jobs just to pay off loans. No time for family or worship. Rising stress and mental health issues due to financial pressure. Young people delaying marriage because they can't afford housing. More people turning to fraud, corruption, or crime just to survive. Real example. In India, farmer suicides are a massive issue because many farmers take loans with high interest, and when they can't pay, they end their lives out of desperation. In the US, many students graduate with 50 lakh plus rupees in student loan debt, which takes 20 to 30 years to repay. They are slaves to the system before even starting life. Question: why does a world with so much wealth have so much suffering? The answer: interest-based financial slavery. Allah says in the Quran, "Those who devour interest will not stand on the day of judgment except like the one beaten by shaitan into insanity." But if you do not give up interest, then take notice of a war from Allah and His Messenger. The solution: Islam's perfect economic system. Islam is the only system that truly protects the poor. Here's how. No riba, interest. No exploitation of the weak. Wealth should be earned through honest work, not by taking advantage of others. Zakat and Sadaqah. The rich must share their wealth with the poor to create balance. Profit and loss. Sharing. Islamic finance. Instead of loans with interest, businesses operate on investment-based partnerships, where both profit or lose fairly. Gold and silver-based economy. Unlike today's inflation-driven system, Islam supports stable currency backed by real value. Final message. Riba is not just a financial issue. It is a tool of control, oppression, and destruction. It enslaves people, fuels wars, and keeps wealth in the hands of the elite, while the majority struggle. But Allah has given us an alternative. If we return to an Islamic economic system, one based on justice, fairness, and real value, we can break free from this trap and live with barakah and peace. What do you think? Have you seen the effects of riba in your life or society? Comment below.